Here is a story. It's called Homer Price, and it's for those grandsons of mine who feel like I need a good story for a boy. So here's Homer Price. Homer Price. Robert McCloskey is the author and illustrator. And he also did Blueberries for Sal and Make Way for Ducklings and One Morning in Maine. So here is the first chapter, or at least the first part of the first chapter. The Case of the Sensational Scent. So there's Homer, and he's kicking a can and carrying his books and whistling. And this is the Shady Rest Tourist Camp. Running water, it says. Now, Homer lived in a time when there wasn't cell phones, there wasn't computers, so this is a different time than what we live in now. But there's still some things that apply. The Case of the Sensational Scent. About 2 miles outside of Centerburg, where Route 56 meets Route 56A, there lives a boy named Homer. Homer's father owns a tourist camp. Homer's mother cooks fried chicken and hamburgers in the lunchroom and takes care of the tourist cabins, while his father takes care of the filling station. So you can kind of see the filling station where they get gas. That's what they call a gas station in those days, a filling station, because they would fill you up with gas or maybe oil or whatever you needed. Homer does odd jobs about the place. Sometimes he washes windshields of cars to help his father, and sometimes he sweeps out cabins or takes care of the lunchroom to help his mother. When Homer isn't going to school or doing odd jobs or playing with other boys, he works on his hobby, which is building radios. He has a workshop in one corner of his room where he works in the evenings. Now, I think that when Homer was a boy, they didn't have television either. And so the way they would listen to the news or listen to music or different programs would be listening to the radio. Before going to bed at night, he usually goes down to the kitchen to have a glass of milk and cookies because working on radios makes him hungry. Tabby, the family cat, usually comes around for something to eat too. One night, Homer came down and opened the icebox door, which is the refrigerator door, they used to call it an icebox, and poured a saucer of milk for Tabby and a glass of milk for himself. He put the bottle back and looked to see if there was anything interesting on the other shelves. He heard footsteps and felt something soft brush his legs, so he reached down to pet Tabby. When he looked down, the animal drinking the milk certainly wasn't a cat. What do you think it was? It was a skunk. Homer was startled just a little, but he didn't make any sudden motions because he remembered what he had read about skunks. They can make a very strong smell that people and other animals don't like, but the smell is only for protection. And if you don't frighten them or hurt them, they are very friendly. That's what he read. While the skunk finished drinking the saucer of milk, Homer decided to keep it for a pet, because he had read somewhere that skunks become excellent pets if you treat them kindly. He decided to name the skunk Aroma. Aroma is another word that means smell. So that's kind of a funny name for a skunk, huh? Or odor. Then he poured out some more milk for Aroma and had some more himself. Aroma finished the second saucer of milk, licked his mouth, and calmly started to walk away. Homer followed and found that Aroma's home was under the house right beneath his window. During the next few days, Homer did a lot of thinking about what would be the best way to tame Aroma. He didn't know what his mother would think of a pet skunk around the house. What would your mother think? But he said to himself, Aroma has been living under the house all this time, and nobody knew about it, so I guess it will be all right for it to keep on being a secret. He took a saucer of milk out to Aroma every evening when nobody was looking, and in a few weeks, Aroma was just as tame as a puppy. Although, really, here's a side note from Grandma. If you do decide to have a pet skunk, I encourage you to tell your parents. Okay, back to the story. Homer thought it would be nice if he could bring Aroma up to his room, because it would be good to have company while he worked building radios. So here's a picture of him building radios. And there's Aroma. He's got a baseball mitt and a bat and some stuff for building and cleaning. And so he got an old basket and tied a rope to the handle to make an elevator. He let the basket down from his window and trained Aroma to climb in when he gave a low whistle. Then he would pull the rope, and up came the basket, and up came Aroma to pay a social call. So there's the basket with the rope. But it looks like Aroma's liking this little suitcase too. Aroma spent most of his visits sleeping, while Homer worked on a new radio. Aroma's favorite place to sleep was in Homer's suitcase. Okay, that was his favorite place to sleep. One evening, Homer said, "There, that's the last wire soldered, and my new radio is finished. I'll put the new tubes in it, and then we can try it out." Aroma opened one eye and didn't look interested, even when the radio worked perfectly.